Hello everyone, my name is Mario for Caught Spirit and welcome to the channel. Before we get going on with what I wanted to say, I just want to give you guys a quick tour of my yard. So let's do it. So over here, this is like the end of my driveway, is what I drive into. Like if you see my cars here, so there's my home there. So that's why I drive into and I come in. I like my rose bush. It grew a lot bigger this year and the flowers are starting to come out, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. That plant there, I have no idea what it's called, but it looks pretty awesome. I think it's starting to climb up the hanger there for the telephone pole. So I'm happy with that there. This is the whole garden there. The dwarf spruce, I think they're called. They're coming up nicely. There, right there in the middle there, that's a cedar. I think yeah, that's a cedar there that I planted. So it seems to be hanging in there. Hopefully it lasts till next year and every year after that. So yeah, so these are, I got all my garden lights up, solar lights up and all that. These little plants here aren't doing so well. I lost one, and for some reason they did better before. For some reason this year they're not doing so well. As my angel there, so you can see there's a hole there. I lost that one. So what are you gonna do? And this, like I haven't lost this one, but it doesn't look like it's doing so well. It's not like it's not getting enough water, so this plant here is doing pretty good. It's the same plant, but the other one is like a flow. This is one that just like blooms and that's it. So yes, that's pretty nice. I think it worked out pretty good this year. I've had better years, but still not bad. Not done there. I gotta rake that out. Rake out that soil there. I think I might put a few more plants, so I wanted to keep some dirt left over. Like this one here, it's not doing so well either. It's the same plant. It's having a tough time. This one here is pretty good, but it's supposed to be up over here. Yeah, it ended up over there. So I don't know. They have the mind of their own, right? This plant here is from my neighbor. Just decided to make it way to just overgrown my property. I have bamboo down here. Can't really see it. So solar lights, statues. This plant's doing all right. I used to have plants in here, but then for whatever reason I haven't kept it up. I may do something next year. We'll see what happens. That plant's doing all right too. This one here, I was really impressed. It didn't cost me that much money either, so it's doing awesome. These one here, I thought they were only like perennials. I guess perennials only last like once a year. For some reason, they keep coming back every year. They don't look the greatest, but they keep coming back, so I keep them around. Over here, be a nice place to do something in here, but I don't know. I got 3 YouTube channels, an X channel and an Instagram channel, and you know what I mean, you only got so much time, right? So I'll put today I'm gonna put some lights up on that plant there. It's funny, I've been here like 20 years and this plant just grew last year, and this year even got even bigger, so I'm gonna put some lights on it. So it should look pretty good during at night. Right. Some pretty good stems on it too. Here's my angel. Another plant over here. It's all overgrown. I gotta clean that. Actually, cut that back there. That's really overgrown. Clean this up a little bit here. There's the windmill there. See, look at this one here. That's like the other pot's completely gone. The plant didn't take. What are you gonna do? I think in the next week, where I got those cheap yellow plants, I'm gonna buy a few more and just put them in, see how they do. Angel there. Over here, like, I don't really know what to do. I think I want to get statues, but there's not really any cool statues. Like, I like this little leaf here, and it catches the water. I like that, but like I'm very particular, right? I'd rather wait till I find something I like than just put whatever. So these plants here are doing pretty good. That one not as good, but it was in the corner there, so I wasn't getting as much sun, so I brought it out over here. So, but yeah, so basically that's it. It's not the best I ever had it, but it's not bad. It's pretty good. You never know what you're gonna get from year to year, right? And every year I'm changing things. I think the next year is going to be a lot better. I'm going to find some different plants and going to put those in. So, yeah. So anyways, I want to talk about like my last video. If you guys watched my last video, it's going to be a continuation of that. In my last video, I most likely showed you all the water that was in my backyard. And I showed you that, and I explained to you that I had a difference of opinion with the manager about these logs. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys the logs, but in the stream that's holding back the water. So I talked to him after I made that video last week, and we weren't in disagreement, but he was saying the water's flowing, right? And I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about when I can only see it in the one corner flowing. That like when it's dry, it's only that, like, on the left part of the one log that's lying across the stream, you see space underneath. The rest is still, you don't see anything. So it means it's holding all that water back, which puts it in my yard. So so we were talking this, that, and I didn't lose my cool. The important thing is not the results you get, but how you deal with it, right? Because the results come and go, but the way you deal with it, you carry that with you all the time. That is your character. So if you don't want to carry bad karma, be very conscious of how you deal with situations like this. So basically, he's saying it's flowing. I'm like, okay. I go, well, the next time it gets to a certain level where it's pretty low, I want to go with you. See, he walks out in the log, he says it was flowing. I go, I want to go with you and see what like this water that's flowing that you said. And I knew it wasn't, but I just wanted to go out there with him so he could show me, right? And that way I could talk better with him like that. So basically, he goes, well, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I'm like, that's okay. Well, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it, right? So everything worked out pretty good, even though to me it's not complicated, right? But whatever. That's his opinion. So it's not just about me. So I got to work with it, right? So, anyways, so today is July 6th, Sunday. So I just called them up, right? And I go, can we go for a walk on those logs today? And he goes, well, I'm in the middle of this game, this and that. So I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, can we do it later on? I'm like, oh, okay. But they started saying, well, I checked it, the water's flowing. I'm like, I don't see. I go, when I looked at it, it's just, you can only see light under the left corner, the left part of the log. That means the rest of that water is being held up, right? So I understand it's moving, but it's moving very slowly because it's being held up by an obstruction. So so then we started to talk, right, which was good, and he was saying, he goes, well, yeah, it is flowing, like, I understand. I go, it is flowing, this and that. I'm like, dude, I go, you got one log like on an angle going right into the stream, so that's obviously holding the water back. And he's like, yeah, but it's still flowing around it, like. But it's like there's an obstruction. So now when the rain falls hard, that's holding the water back, so it's not draining as quick through the cauldrons, right? So, and he's saying, well, and then I told him before, I go. Another issue is that if you get some rain, right, and then that holds the water back, so the drainage is not as quick. Then in another few days, if you get more rain, then it makes it even worse because you're not draining as quick, right? Like, I'm not disputing the fact that we're getting a lot of rain, but the issue is if you have an obstruction, then you should remove the obstruction, and hopefully it solves the problem. Like, will I still get flooded? Will I still get flooded with all those logs? I don't know, but that's obviously an obstruction, so that has to be pulled out of the way. So then if I'm still getting flooded, then we'll deal with the situation after that. But with that there, what am I supposed to do? Just accept that I lose my yard for pretty much almost like for pretty much what, 10 months, maybe like 9 months of the year. Like, the only time you can really enjoy the yard is really in like July, August, and June too, right? Depending on how warm it is. But if I'm getting flooded like 5 days each month, and it takes like 2 weeks for it to completely get dry. Like right now, the rain was on a long weekend, which was last weekend. For the whole long weekend, the whole 5 days, I had no yard. It was full of water. Then yesterday I checked, and the bottom of my yard where the angel was and all that, like, you're walking, you can still feel the squishy of the water. So the last rain, the last rainfall was, I think it was Monday of last week. It's like, he said Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday, and then you're going into Saturday. That's what, 5-6 days, and it's still not completely dry. You know what I mean? And let's say I had family over, I had kids over here. How are the kids supposed to play in the yard when it's all soaked at the bottom of it? So basically, you lose half your yard. You can only use the top of the yard. So and he's saying to me, goes, well, are you using your yard today? I go, yeah, but what's that? I go, well, did you? He goes, Scott walked over there, saw there was no water. I go, but did you walk at the bottom? Right, it's all wet at the bottom, right? So, and then his other thoughts are that there's a beaver, and if he takes the logs out, the beaver is going to bring the branches down and plug up the cauldron. I'm like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, I'm not a trapper, but I do understand that back when this country, I live in Canada, by the way, back when this country was founded, they were hunting beavers like it was going out of style. I think they even almost hunted them out to extinction, right? And today we're in 2025, and one little beaver you can't handle, right? And he says, well, I've been dealing with the beaver for 5 years. I've had pros dealing with it. So what he's telling me is that in 2025, we got AI, we got smart cars, we got Starlink, right? We got freaking smartphones, we got nuclear bombs, we got hypersonic missiles, we got most amazing technology there is. But one little beaver you can't handle? That's why my yard's getting flooded for one little beaver. These pros he's talking about, they can't handle one little beaver with all this, right? So I'm like, sorry, I can't comprehend that. That doesn't make sense to me. So basically, then I don't know if I already said this, but then he admits that yeah, it's slowing it down, but the water's still getting around. I think I did say that, but I'm like, okay, so we both accept that it's restricting the water. So if we both accept it, let's move the logs, and hopefully it fixes the problem, right? And he's like, well, it's going to do more, the logs are doing more good than harm. I'm like, according to who? Not according to me, right? He goes, well, you're not the only one in the park. I'm like, so his philosophy is that if he gets rid of the logs, then the branches are going to come, they're going to plug up the cauldron, then there's going to be major floods everywhere. I've been living here 20 years. We had big rainstorms before. We never had that issue. I think the water even went over the road before, like on springtime and all that. It's nothing new, okay? But that doesn't mean you put dams, which is what they are. They're dams inside the stream to slow things down and to prevent from the sticks coming in, just so you don't want that to happen. I mean, I've been here 20 years. It's only been going on for 2 years, this flooding here. So, well, what did the old management do? Right? We had storms too, and he would argue that there's more now. Okay, but like it's not. Yeah, there's more rain, but it's not at the level at the level where on flat land it's raining and the water's coming up 4 feet in everybody's property. It's just my property, and all the ones are their backyards are going towards the marsh. They're the only ones that are being affected. And considering most of them don't use their property, it's not an issue to them. But to me, I use it, so it's an issue to me, right? But anyways, so at the end of the day, he said he's gonna move the logs this week. So he says it won't make. He goes, I'll tell you right now, won't make any difference at all. Which if he's admitting that it's restricting the water, then it's going to make a difference. How much of a difference? We won't know until the logs get moved. So, anyways, so basically the logs are going to get moved. So another thing I want to talk about is be conscious. If you get in these kind of situations, be conscious of your feelings and the thoughts you have, because for one, once that phone call was done, you would think that I would have feelings of celebration, but I had like these bad feelings, right? Don't get caught up in that. There's a lot of old programming that we're dealing with. Don't get caught up in that. That's an issue. He admits to it. It's not rocket science. It's holding back the water. How much of a difference it's going to make, we won't know until they get pulled out. Hopefully, I don't get flooded again. It makes that much of a difference. Or maybe the water will come up, but it'll just come up like a foot, right? And then it'll be gone in like a day, which something like that's acceptable, but not half the yard getting flooded. I can't accept that, right? Until the logs get moved, and then I could say, okay, I can accept it if that's what happens, but not as long as those logs are there, right? So that there. So be careful in your feelings. Don't let these negative feelings change your thoughts. So like if you're passionate about something, and you finally get it, don't allow these negative feelings like throw you off. And another thing is that last week, that day when I was talking to him, the one woman that her yard backs up to that stream, she was looking at me, right? And I'm like, what? Is she thinking that, you know, I'm being mean or whatever, this and that, right? And so I had these thoughts in my head, and if I didn't manage my thoughts properly, I would have went to this big drama. It's inside my head. I had all these bad thoughts about her, right? At the end of the day, the next day I see her, right? I start talking to her, and she's like, yeah. She goes, I told them too to get rid of of those logs, but they're saying to keep it there because of the beavers. I'm like, so the point I'm trying to make, and not that she's on my side, is that for me, I thought she had negative thoughts about me, right? And if I would allow all that to go fly around in my head, I would have had all these negative thoughts about her for no reason, okay? So be very conscious. Unless you know for sure it's true, don't buy into it, and don't confuse that with faith either, right? This is just, I thought her looks meant something. I didn't know for sure it was that, and it wasn't. It was something completely different. So be very aware of that. I'm starting to the past few years I've been noticing that with me and where other people perceive me. So be very careful, unless you know for sure that's what that person is thinking or feeling, whatever. Don't get yourself caught up in any drama, and even if it's true, still don't get caught up in a drama. It's not good for your health. So anyways, we'll leave it there. Hopefully they get this cleared out this week, and hopefully everything goes good. So we'll leave it there. We'll talk to you next week, and I'll give you another update next week. See you then. Bye.